Alrighty guys, 'tis I, Chrissy Girl. Welcome to part 34 of my Pokemon Black playthrough. And in this part, we're getting ready to take on the champion, whoever that may be. I did initially record this part, but for some feckin' reason, the Camtasia recorder decided it wasn't gonna fucking render the video. I disapprove. So now I've got to record this whole thing again. I disapprove. Anyway, let's see who was victorious. Was it 10 or older? Am I going to need to save the world? Yep. N1. Yeah. That kind of explains why Alder never really seemed to take being a champion seriously. Because his Pokemon died from sickness. Wow. A Pokemon actually died. Well, there was places like Celestial Tower, so that kind of clearly says, look, Pokemon are capable of dying. And this here is the first of many epic cutscenes. My word, look at this. Seriously, this is the Team Plasma Castle, or N's Castle. Look at it! There's loads of it. How long did it take people to build this? It's huge! It's even bigger than the Pokémon League! Bigger than the Champions, bloody! The hall you fight the bloody champion in! Look at it! Must have taken them years to build that! And how did they manage to hide it underground, around the Pokémon League for all this time, never to be noticed? I'm sorry, but some fucker had to have noticed that. You can't just hide a great big feckin' castle like that and not expect anyone to notice it. So, okay, N's on his way to the castle. Charon's just come in. Okay. Well, the Elite Fours had a very bad day. You mean N beat them, I beat them, and now Charon's beaten them. They've had a very shite day. So, obviously I've got to fulfill my promise. I swore that I would take on N if Alder lost, so I've got to do that. Charon's going to look after Alder, because Alder's obviously lost. There's no point in him sticking around, you know, coming with or anything like that. Whoa, that's high up. That's quite nerve-wracking, actually. And upon entering the castle, we're greeted by the 6 remaining sages. You know, not including Getsis. And they just say a bunch of random shit. Evidently trying to intimidate me. Basically, the long and short is they were going to attack me, even though N didn't want that. But I'm getting my ass saved by Clay. And not just Clay. All the other gym leaders as well, but I love how the sages just backed off at just one. At one gym leader. Here's a question, did all these guys come through the Elite Four as well? Did they have to beat the Elite Four to get here, or did they just come through like, oh shit, the world's in danger, come on, we're not battling all you losers. So, I mean, if they battled the Elite Four, all of them, and beat them, my god. The Elite Four would have had a very bad day. I don't think they deserve to call themselves Elite anymore. I'm just assuming that these guys said, look, there's danger. Didn't you see the great big fucking castle that's just risen out of the fucking ground? We've got to get in there quick. Even then, it would have taken them a while to reach me in any case. I don't know. Makes no sense. Pokemon has never really made sense, so whatever. Bryson, again, man of practically no words. Okay, so basically we've got to go after N. I love how they just pin all the hopes on me. None of the gym leaders are like, oh, we'll take on N. They just like, oh, we'll just take on the 7 sages. You go and take on N. Even though you're like a young child, you can take on N, who has the most powerful dragon in the fucking world. So, N's castle. It's got pretty epic music. I really like this sort of finality, the tune for N's castle. It says, it's like, it just sort of says, this is the last place you're going to be exploring. This is where your final encounter is going to happen. Oh, these guys again. That's one of the other things that I like about N's castle. You can heal your Pokemon here without having to use any of your items. You just go into this room, chat to the pink-haired lady, and she will heal your Pokemon for you. The other lady will give you some backstory regarding N. So you can talk to her if you want to, but it doesn't mean anything. The pink lady is the one you definitely want to talk to. Yeah. Nothing else in this room. But yeah, that's one of the things I like about N's Castle, and it's completely different to every other Pokemon game I've ever played. In every other Pokemon game, you have to fight the Elite Four and the champion all in a row, only healing with the healing items that you bring with you. So if you don't bring enough with you, that's your tough shit. You can't heal up by chatting to somebody in between. You can't visit a Pokemon Center in between. You can't access your PC in between. You can't grind in between or anything like that. But here you can, and that's kind of nifty. You can heal your Pokemon up with the pink-haired lady. I forget her name, Anthea or something like that. In this room, I believe you can access your PC. Yep. Here you can access your PC. There's a couple of scientists who basically say, oh, we can even get inside PC boxes. No one's Pokemon is safe. Doesn't matter if you store them in a PC. We will release them. We will steal them from you. Arseholes. And in here, you can chat to this guy. Oh, bless. Max Revive in here. There's a few items scattered around. See, you don't even get items scattered around in the other Pokemon games like you do in this one. I just love how epic this is. It's like it's the first Pokemon game that actually tries to tell a story and actually tries to be epic, and I really appreciate that. Okay, back here there are 2 Team Plasma members. This one gives you an Ultra Ball. Kind of handy for what's to come, and even handier is this guy. He will send you back to the Pokemon League if you want to. There is another Team Plasma member who will be waiting in the Pokemon Center, so whenever you want to go back you can. But this is handy because it means you can go and do some grinding, which you will never have been able to do in any other Pokemon game. And I am going to admit it, I ground very hard. I did a lot of grinding. My Pokemon are like level 57. 56, 57. I was expecting a lot of a tougher challenge, so I just thought, oh, I better grind quite a lot. And then I wound out, I ground too hard. But anyway, chat to the Team Plasma member in the Pokemon League, Pokemon Center, and they'll send you back to N's Castle. Which is great, because it means you don't have to do the Elite Four again. I completely forgot which way I was going, and I ended up backtracking. Yeah. And I completely forgot that I'd already talked to that guy and been in this particular room. Until I got this far and saw the stairs going down, I was like, oh, I've been this way. I meant to be going this way. More Shadow Triad members. And they say fuck off. That was really helpful. And one appears straight away and points you towards that room there. That is the room that N lived in, so let's have a look, shall we? This is what N grew up in. My word. Basketballs, train sets, skateboarding, lots of other toys, a flying aeroplane. Oh my god, this is a kid's dream. My god. Many kids would just be like, oh, I want all that crap, I want it. And then had it all. Oh god. Poor N was so undercared for, underprivileged. Look at all those fucking toys! He was spoilt rotten, damn it! This guy mentions Team Galactic and Team Rocket. I can kind of understand why he didn't mention Magma or Aqua, because it depends on whether you count Emerald as canon or whether you count Ruby or Sapphire as canon. Because in Ruby and Sapphire, only one team was bad, the other team was actually good. Only in Pokemon Emerald were both teams like bad guys. And even then, they kind of learned their lesson at the end. Where it's like the other two teams actually didn't. So, yeah. Anyway, I think this is it. At the end of the road, there's only one way to go. And this is where N can be found. Save your game if you want to. There's nothing stopping you. If you want, like I say, if you want to heal, grind, to do anything like that, you can. There's nothing to stop you. So feel free to save in N's Castle. The tough bit of battling 4 trainers in a row with only your healing items is done. So we can battle N. In a way, some people might say that being able to heal or do all the things that you can do before fighting N might make this game a little bit easier than other Pokemon games, but I still think it's challenging. It's kind of plainly obvious right from the get-go that Getsis is the main baddie. But it's just like, he's the one that sort of stands on the sidelines, but it's obvious that he's the one that's actually instigating all this crap. So, N on his throne. Oh, goodness me. Excuse me. Take this opportunity to make sure that all your Pokemon are fully healed. You've got, sorry, tripping up over my words. Make sure you've got all the items you want to use. If you've got items like Soft Sand, which boosts items that boost particular types of moves, feel free to use them. I think they'll come in handy. Any other items that you think would be beneficial to slap on your Pokemon. Yeah. Rocky Helmet would have been very handy. Unfortunately, I had to stop playing shortly after this. So, I started the game up again and I hadn't slapped any of the items on my Pokemon. Turns out I didn't need to because they're overpowered, but yeah, don't expect like Rocky Helmet to come into play or anything like that to come into play because it doesn't, okay? So let's take on N. Reshiram is not responding, and N's now convinced that I'm not a hero. Damn him! So he's basically saying, beat me or piss off. Battle me or piss off, I should say. Oh, now this scene is epic. Zekrom just crashes through the castle wall. The builders would not be happy about that. But yeah, if you were playing Pokemon White, it will be Reshiram bursting through the castle walls to fight for Ren, not Zekrom. Zekrom's just... yeah. Zekrom's for Pokemon Black players. Just such an epic scene. I had to record both screens because otherwise it would have been, you know, very lackluster. And almost instantly, as soon as Zekrom appears, the light stone begins to glow. What's all this talk about me not being a hero, N? If you're playing Pokemon White, it'll be the Dark Stone. And Reshiram will be the one you're fighting against. Here, like I say, in Pokemon White, it'll be the Dark Stone, and you will be using Zekrom. But I'm playing Pokemon Black, so I'll be using Reshiram. Well, I'll be fighting Reshiram. I don't know about using it. That's probably going to raise a few eyebrows, but no, I don't intend to use Reshiram in the final battle, because you do get the option to use this. But I am actually not going to. Not only because I've really raised up my team hard, but just... I don't particularly go much on using legendaries myself. I'll capture them, but I won't use them. That's the way I roll. So, you can't battle N yet. You have to battle Reshiram first and capture it, because that's what Reshiram wants. So, make sure you're all ready to go, save if you need to, and enter the battle. The good thing about battling Reshiram is, if you knock it out, you can fight it again, as much as you need to. This is an awesome thing about it. You don't have to, you know, worry so much. Because this thing, you know, it'll just keep coming back until you capture it. You're meant to capture it. You will not be able to proceed with the story until you capture this thing. The other good thing about that is you don't have to worry too much about its catch rate. Its catch rate is pretty much the same as most other Pokemon. So you can catch it in probably just one Ultra Ball. It's got one of the lowest catch rates for a legendary Pokemon. You know, most legendary Pokemon really give you shit when you're trying to capture them. Reshiram. This one doesn't at all. You can catch it in one ball. More often than not. And I have to admit, I like the battle music for Reshiram and Zekrom. I didn't like it so much to begin with, but it grew on me. I have to say, it is pretty nifty music. I like it. But I'm not going to be using Reshiram in the upcoming battle. In the next part, I'll be taking on N, so I look forward to seeing you there. Bye.